testing one. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2, testing, testing. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna notify Looney. It's been a while, but I am finally back live with Ace Attorney. Oh, my dog. What? Also, that's Mingli. Alright. Let me just change the input real quick. Input HDMI 2. And here we go. Let's continue. Last time we did most of this investigation. I'm gonna finish up the investigation and start the trial. It's been a while since I played this game. Yeah, I think we've already done everything we need to do there. Let's go back to the prison. Wait, what are we doing here? Time is Naruto. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a carry. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garadeb's house. Who the heck are you? I know the old man. Please, fall to that place. What the heck is this? Where you going, I'm so sorry. That was terrible. Where you going, old man? Yo, I'm looking. Let me penny. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio. No, there are dreams. Then are dreams in your philosophy. What the hell is your philosophy? What are you on about? Excuse me. Hey, what the? What are you doing? Ow! Okay, I had my headphone volume turned up too loud. Get out of here, John. You blew up my ears. I'm gonna. You blew out my ears. LMAO. My headphones were too loud. Whoops. Okay. Oh, whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. My associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruto, is a lawyer, you see. A lawyer? What? If I could be any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I studied English law. Well, I'll be on my way for the day. But my words. You ain't over yet. He almost dabbed there. What? Now you're dabbing. Get these in a nursery. Don't look like a woman under you. Oh, he said nunnery, not nursery. You look kind of familiar, like someone else I know. I do hope you're not injured. No fear, at least I made it. That answered that door. Thank you. What was that all about? There's no more things than heaven and earth, Horatio. Then there are drift of your philosophy. Why do you keep quoting that? I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garrett residence? Well, fair estimated. That was all right. Yes, I do well on this humble abode. Mr. Garrett had mentioned that he had no lodger, did he? This must be the man. It's been so long that I kind of forgot most things that were happening. Hopefully, I can be refreshed. I still don't think we have like that much. Yeah, we don't have like any evidence. We'll get most of it during the trial, though, I'm sure. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Oh yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Well, no worthy. I'm a poor mess on my battle. Word near could there be? Sorry, battle? Did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and my sport along the night. I see. I see. I don't fully understand. But it seems like Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. Acquaintances. So fair man, good gentlemen. I can tell you no longer. Very well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. Seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Suseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Boom, 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 boom. Anyways, I'll go find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly waiting our return. So we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Alright, we were already headed on that way. Okay, we're back. He still looks as nervous as ever. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome, student Mr. That's Naruto Esquire. I can't believe we came back! I'm so touched! We're so sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no, think of God. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure as a company of such a fine conversation. Noble, never failing, never days. Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Okay, who is this? There's nothing more than reassuring than a familiar of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, it's you! It's through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such are my beliefs, at least. What's you? The miserable rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Say, observing, curse. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair. Oh, geez, those guys. I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how my devastating friend is faring. Gloomful room? Gloomful room. That was him, not me. At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah! You! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it! I'm through! I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to the Great Man. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be because of tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is Batman! Redeemed! What are you thinking, Miss Naruto? Mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there's much truth. Mr. Mustache's words. Mustache? What? Curse is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings. And indeed, for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Okay. Yeah, I can't examine. I've already shown you my badge. Cursed trial. Miss Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why were you looking so weird? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away. That's all. I didn't mean that. Oh, I see. That really agitated him. Yeah, you know what I mean? The trial really is cursed somehow. Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Where is it? 16 second words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. I like there's something going on out there. I'm gonna see if I can calm down my voice. Oh my goodness! Can I really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Oh, I didn't actually count that. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sure enough. Yesterday, Mr. Neverhood successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm being interrupted. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Wasn't much. Here we go. Oh, at least it loaded instantly this time. That is the wrong HDMI. That. Okay. So the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGoated. Oh, what? I am impressed, Mr. Sudo. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lauren Van Zeeks killed the man himself. Oh no, he couldn't have, surely? I highly doubt that. I mean, why would he? He wouldn't have a motive. Maybe because he lost or something. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't an mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh yes. Why, of course he is. Well, of course he is. Then, what are you trying to scam me? It can be said, however. But the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Oh, jeez. Here we go. We gotta finally start talking about the prosecutor. What Zeeks is a quite exceptional man. However, in the London court of laws, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. Saseki-san looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. As you no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling apostles as witnesses, and so on. By such means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is a simple reality of the situation. Like, even our courts aren't 100% accurate. And that's alright. However, those indicted by the Lord Ranziks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Oh, jeez. I swear, hopefully that's the last time this happens. Alright, we're back. We're back. Though the education may see them leave the schoolroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by the raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruto. Wow. I know what I'm. Done. Alright, what's the cursing lodgings? When you said the cursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room as Mr. Gyarados' house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since the year to open. But I'd only been in London a week before I started noticing strange feelings in myself. It didn't take long then. Look, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me. All the time, from dawn to dusk. Stop dabbing, please. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely. Haven't been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on the Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? Seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap, so I have nothing on it. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why I was so affordable. The landlord just sipped on it and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If he has something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention any of the first. Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I'm out of the windows, hello. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I've been choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm burning a killer. Thrown in prison. No one wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all? To believe? Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Mr. Neverheard of? Wait, what can I do for you? It's about the case in the SS Beria, if you recall. The Beria? The Beria? Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. At the time, I was a suspect. You believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe in me? I see, yes. You mean, because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with a victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It is quite simple, really. He said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make my own mind about what it's believed in and what is not. If I should believe in something I do, the circumstances. If I should like to believe in something I do, the circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. Ah, ha 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 ha. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment of nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down for oneself. It doesn't matter whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right! Look outside of me, and never ask why. Whether or not I can believe in myself. As good as this faith or his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Daw. You were so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving then, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to try me? Oh, trout. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume? If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Sweet. Hey, it's the title screen music. Look up to the Mr. Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruto. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsumi, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. That's why. Our fight for your innocence to the bitter end with every weapon available to me, including this katana. So I hope you'll permit me to present to you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. If you'd be fair to say, Mr. Naruto, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Sato. Yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. AKA my Maya. But thank you. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me. Mrs. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Sasaki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. I could have probably fit that in last time, but I was going on pretty late. It didn't take too long this time, so let's continue on. Investigation. Now we got in the freaking trial, thank goodness. Investigation and trial, finally. It's about time we have. Good morning. Hey, Looney, you're just in time. And thanks for the host, too. How's it going this fine morning? Or it's pretty late over here, but it's probably waking hours for you. Let's move on. Starting the trial of Case 4. Let's go. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour to Great Britain, with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest courtroom procedures here, we need to as much court experience as possible. Yeah, I've just woken up. Yeah, I figured that's why I added you. It's nice to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may as well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Wake around this time every day. I kind of figured. What time are you waking up? Because I don't think I could wake up that early. Good morning. Oh, hi, it's you again. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear. Are you alright? Your ear's terribly bloodshot. Oh yeah, oh geez, they are. The elevator catches the worm as I stay here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. Don't try to not to wake up early. That's so worried I couldn't catch a wing. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Oof. Do all literary people take things so literally? Aha! 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 I forgot to add that command. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives, or our future hangs in the balance. Time! Two! Terrified! Two! Tremble! Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can do this! I can't take this! Although, welcome student Mr. Naruto, Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. Looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I know, I do my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susudo? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruto, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just a coincidence, then, is it? Why are you smiling? I don't like this. Die the truth of me! Yes! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometimes the prosecutor was dubbed Reaper of the Bailey. He stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return in the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Rest in peace. Oh, what a hollowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking. That's all there's. And they're all speculating various answers. Mundane! Someone significant song has a country to some to us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume. But that is how the papers are describing it. Ugh. Well, let's we also forget the fact that we couldn't spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught the people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the case of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Look at Mr. Naruto, Esquire. It's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruto, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Wow. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be made with such frail fortune? Be my last lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Got him. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I'll fight your corner until the bitter end. And I'll believe in you, Mr. Natsume. I'll believe in Mr. Lookum student, Mr. Haruno Sky. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be on your side. Open limit non-locum assistant, Mr. Mikitoba Esquires. I'm gonna do it forever. I should never forget that great highness for as long as they live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly making way to the courtroom rooms at once. It's time. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. And my third trial overall. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my calling to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Here we go. Here we go. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Japanese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strong has told me all about you. That you're a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. I'm a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a company traitor, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Japanese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Susato, son. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Ah, you got that wine again. Or grape juice, whatever. Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, tale if it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. He is to be acquitted, and his unfortunate, violent end. Wait, is that who I think it is? Oh no, I saw two people I recognize. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? I forget what voice I used for you. Jeez. Oh, I think I know what it was. You don't know. You might be telling your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. What the? Well, I must warn you, I am rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that Mustachio Forder did the deed. What? The freaking maid lady? Oh, gee. Come now, what you waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. It is 7 o'clock right now, basically. Yeah, I can't wake up that early. There's no way. I woke up around 10 minutes ago. I can't wake up that early unless I use an alarm clock. Speaking of which, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that this Sunday because I got football to watch. Or, I guess in your case, in your vocabulary, it's American football. The one with... Oh, I did not mean to full screen that. The one with this ball. There you go. Football! Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zieks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Sasaki Natsume. Oh man, I know what you mean. Okay, fine. I know you're a man. Yeah. I just want to make sure I clear up my football from your football in case you got confused. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of the most sinister act of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. And there goes a perfectly fine wine glass. Enough crime. I can tell you from pedestrian. That's worse. Bloody oath hour. No, thank you. Just look at that small, sallow complexion or stature. He's the one of the dreadful Japanese. I'm just gonna give her a high-pitched robot voice, I guess. It's just like talk to Americans. It's very okay. Yeah, I guess most people you watch are American, so fair enough. ABC's American. John's American. We're all American. America. Come on, let's get this over with. Come on, 1, 2, 3. We can't do that already.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
With British people and Canadian, one has to be a bit more careful. One has to be a bit more careful. They usually. British people and Canadian, one has to be a bit more careful. They usually American football, but only football, and not only football. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if most are American. I feel like a good portion of people are American, but like, yeah, if you live in Canada, you got that's easily confused, like Megas or Arrow. I also watch a bunch of British and Canadian people too. Canadians are definitely there. The Canadians are definitely there too. Yeah, I can't stand living in Canada. It's too cold, way too cold. Anyways, and then there's Europeans as well. Speaking of Europeans, let's get back to this game.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber.
You're not sorry. You do it all the time.
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Oh, oh, it's you.
Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
I'm at number wise from what I watch. Okay, cool.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
Olive green. I mean, she kind of looks like an olive, and she's wearing green. In fact, next thing I'm talking to the Canadian friend, right? Okay, cool. Whatever you say.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be?
As Harvard brings down the back with the fire attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been in comatose ever since.
What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger.
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map.
Yeah, this is the map we got earlier.
As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-hungry uncles. Not long since stopped snowing in the victim. I'm having a stroke here. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Mr. Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accusers and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she was, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
At least it's not an autopsy report. Thank you, Inspector. The court will now accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Currently, she was found with a knife in her back and is currently in the hospital. Oh, okay.
What is the weapon that was used?
There, I have it here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Yeah, oh, it's a switchblade knife. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared of walking down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anyone would have been able to stab that poor woman. Even the scraggy-looking Saseki-san, I suppose. Common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts this blade as evidence. Surprised I have switchblades back then, but but I guess fair enough. Now then, what do you know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, in that case, what are we looking at? Some deep-seated resentment toward the victim?
I'm afraid I can't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant mentioned that to me doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
So we don't have a motive at all.
Yes!
Oh, please don't say yes the entire time. If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavily-handed way.
Objection!
Four. Pray forgive this courtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my little friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your former testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to the arrested Nipponese student.
Yes, sir. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and it was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of books he just brought. He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke who arrested him.
Old books, you say?
Yes, my lord, I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Oh, jeez. And, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. Huh. I don't see anything out of the ordinary yet. I'll take the photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Yeah, finally, we're getting all this evidence. Thank goodness.
You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well, forgive me, Lord Patsix, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sato? Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing in some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. I'm not gonna read this because it's a flashback. Okay, so huh.
A queen of coat?
Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print was wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the word come up with next? Oh, that's right. Well, wasn't the other one in full color? I don't remember. I think it was, or at least partially. The defendant has done nothing wrong. Nothing more than he admitted he fled from the scene of a terrifying incident. It does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman.
What if it was a? What if they threw the knife like a throwing knife? I mean, that's definitely not a throwing knife, but what if that happened? Or it's like throwing it like a ninja star.
A fact that the accused concedes. Seems this cross-examination can prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I'd use this cross-examination to turn the tables. Here. It's our only chance. Here we go. My first cross-examination in like a month or something. Okay. I'm just gonna start at the beginning. Light fog, you say?
Well, for the light for London, you can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much further, though.
That's light, is it?
Around these parts, yes. Not something I expect a Japanese fellow to examine, of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Oh, jeez. Indeed, the other day I was nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Oh, God! Oh, so sudden then I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
There. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact that no doubt lamented by the accused.
Alright.
Hold it!
Hold it! How are you able to state how do you say that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. The witnesses.
Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe. Who's calling it? Oh, crap, I forgot. Yes, one of them is a cop.
That was correct, man.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call him to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation of your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights.
Ah,
The prosecution believed that there would be no ample light. There would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Hooray! Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems for the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with the testimony, Inspector.
I actually put the word "a" in between taking and stock, and so I thought it was a Smash Bros. Reference. Jeez, man.
Hold it!
From behind, you say?
That's right. I cannot see from this print.
There's not a lot of blood. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of this weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. Yeah, I just noticed that there's not a lot of blood. You can see this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition. Comatose, no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Burt's. I was hoping that she'd come around before the trial started, so I could take a statement, but what's to be?
Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of the events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. forced the tone is seriously undermining by those. Your forced tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings.
I think you'll find us all in there, the photographic print of the crime scene.
Yes, the 3 books on the floor.
That's my lord. Second-hand books they were irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course.
The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand, which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full of his books. He managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew what it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back?
That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
Hold it!
Let's see what this is about. The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
That bloke's room is stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if we must, I'll have you look at the street map, I'm afraid.
Bourbon Books. Okay.
The closest Hampshire bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and the Merchant Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of the Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it didn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Finally, I got some more information on this map. It was kind of vague. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruto, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. I mean, that's why we updated it. The most important point that the inspector just made being... Oh, wait, what? Oh, boy. Bookshop's location, the bookshop's name, bookshop's stock. What? What did he say? Close a second. Bourbon Books. What do we have in here? So we got Bourbon Books and Mr. Natsume's lodgings. There's the scene of crime as well. Secondhand books. Wait, what? Your books? Huh. Sure enough. The bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
Right.
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your former testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say.
Could that man be any more sardonic?
He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a second-hand bookshop he apparently patronizes.
Well,
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, fine. I guess I'll hear it. So the shop is called Bourbon Books, is it?
That's right. That's the closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings. And to get from there back to his room, he would have gone right past the very spot where the incident took place.
If I can just confirm one point, can we be sure that the defendant really did visit Bourbon Books on the day in question?
Well, we haven't actually confirmed it, no.
You haven't confirmed it? Why the devil not, Inspector?
Well, the thing is, shopkeeper's gone on a trip, you see. Left the morning after the incident to collect more stock, I'm told.
Ah.
So we, haven't been able to ask the bloke if the accused visited the shop on the day of questioning or no.
Well, in that case, what the defendant himself had to say about it? No recollection. What?
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 According to this statement he had made at the time, the accused had no recollection of where he'd been. Of course he doesn't.
The bloke clearly had in his hand in the clouds whenever he was walking about town. He claims he just wanders into whatever bookshop he happened to be passing and really knows the name.
I should say the man ought to learn to look where he's going, at the very least. So, it's just as I thought then. Exactly. I knew it. I know what to do. I just pressed the wrong button. Something the matter? Inspector, you may continue with your testimony. Alright, let's go back. Go back. Your books.
Objection.
If you could just stop there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in case in the room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Oh, I just got the pun. Your Books, as in like Y-O-U-R. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at the second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What?
Inspector, did you know of this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop, not far from Bergenberg's. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection.
But in fact, that is the bookshop in which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection.
Yes, but what difference it makes? Whoever the man purchases must see tomes, but makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection.
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have a street map here if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Where is it? Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, he passed right by it, then yes, he almost certainly had passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if you take into account the fact there was actually another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed the location at all. Could be true. My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that high-pitched voice for her. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely, it absolutely could be right. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. It turned out that your books is just here on the next corner of Measham Street going east.
That's a little bit further away. The shortest route is still just to go down Briar Road. But now you get the choice. Okay, thank you. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh. Yeah, he's noticed it. My little Nipponese friend is obviously intrigued to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. I don't bring up that case, even though I kind of like that case.
Here, you put that glass down, or I'll put it down for you.
I did think I need to spell it out, but here we go. If the accuser is coming from your books instead of my books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Yes, thank you, Inspector. Ugh. Allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat sort of Nipponese friend. Ouch! Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes makes no difference in the final analysis.
As I suspected, you can't fool me. I don't suspect you try.
What I say? I've had enough of this note. Burger boy, terribly sorry. Would you mind repeating that? You can't hear a thing.
Mr. Naruto, we must give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Narusume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
You must think. You must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
He claims Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books. But they claim Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books. But this is concerning because it's bringing up the life meter. Hold on. I'm gonna raise an objection. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to be taken between two places. Yeah, he could have gone that way. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection.
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. I feel compelled to point it out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. Ah! On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection.
But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time wandering outside, wandering aimlessly for aid from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he don't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I don't believe this.
I thank you, my little friend. And I suggest we do not waste any more of this course time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. But what say you insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defendant. I agree with lunatics wholeheartedly in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean members of the jury are completely convinced now? Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
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 Well, at least they made it quick. It appears the jury's leaning is unanimous. You know, we have to do that thing again, right?
To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr. Naruto.
No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of quarry, not willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your right again in this trial? Right to defense and to a British law that should have been buried long ago.
Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course, ready.
Walter familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his august refusal to throw in his alley? Yeah, I... Do you still have your cane with you? Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you'll each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. What do we have?
For pity's sake, the little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he?
If he said a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can it only have been the victim?
The man wouldn't have gone around his house on his houses on it. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
The poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? Oh, dreadful.
I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books, yes. Nice job, cat. But broken books? No, not worth a visit.
What does that turn into? It's only minor exceptions. The reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear, with only minor exceptions.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. The accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we haven't heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh
dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for this defendant? Mr. Naruto, this is no time for grumbling. If you want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. Must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Renosuke, you can do it. Here we go. Alright. So... Oops, where do I go? I can't actually press these. I didn't press these the last time because I was scared of what would happen. Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. It was all going swimmingly until he started fossing around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten. How you treated me the other day. You had me, I think, a hater, hatter, pegged as criminals. Oh well, you know, water under the bridge. now there's also the rumors barging around. The police have been badgering me nonstop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know nothing about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who's isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear. I wonder what's becoming Mr. First now. If he said the woman when Greek collapsed before his eyes. You know, what do we have? You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not get mad at him. The defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as he's suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Or I really can't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Racism? I can tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare that the man has already made the mission. He himself stated that there was no one else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must have been the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you're too kind, my lord. That went well for her. Who are you with your creepy eyes? You kind of look like that American guy from Yakuza 7. The one that speaks English. I forget his name. The one from the meme. But you can't deny that there were other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean. What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Oh yes, that's true as well. As I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Oh yes, that's annoyingly true. I don't like these responses. Was the night so dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Oh yes, huh? Why is all this true? No, really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim like he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to the Calabash Road, why he might have gone the Calabash Roadway, it would be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. Reason why Saseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
He has a good reason. I don't imagine you'd be able to sway your opinion without one.
So we're gonna have to do that then. Then the freaking maid lady, aka that person's wife. Whatever's the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garrett, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room?
Master's wife? Where'd you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid! The maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. Oh, it was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I am afraid I had no choice.
Well, I guess I did see a letter on your desk. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's home, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
In that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit such a crime as this?
Oh my goodness, yes. He's just a sort.
What?
Spending all his time in the dark, dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
A bomb?
Oh dear, Mr. Natsume. How can people say such things about him? He is a harmless bookworm. Nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. This guy's just bored. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This'll take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Ah,
Likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. Neither does the wife and kids.
oh, I see. It must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late to, and the work's taking, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog till dust, from dusk till dawn. It is.
Okay, so you're a road worker. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? Huh!
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened.
Yes!
But the old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Miracum Street it was.
Sweet. Miracum Street. On the map, Mr. Naruto, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point of that? Can't we get to the business over
Now, please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then. On the day it happened, I was digging up Miracum Street from dawn till dusk.
I mean, I might as well. I still... So if I understand correctly, you're a day laborer, and you were doing road maintenance that day.
That's right. Like I said, you got a lot of brisk gas and water pipe underground in the middle of winter. It's the only time of year that fellas like me can actually make a few bob, and I'm missing out today.
And when you say from dawn till dusk?
Well, the work has to be completed within a day, see? No coaches or pedestrians can pass while it's happening.
Or pedestrians. I wonder if I could trouble you, sir. To mark the street map, on the street map, the exact location of the works you were carrying. Okay, it's a good thing I did this then.
Give it here then. Let me have a look.
Please be right in between the two of them.
Right, let's see then.
Yes!
Here we are, Miracum Street here. Yes, it was just here, like. It's a tiny thing, I can tell you. We have to get through all the drifts of snow that before the started.
And what sort of time did you finish the work?
Well, we started in the morning, and we can't have finished before it got 6, I say. Snow had stopped coming down, but it was long past dark for sure.
That means the road work was still going on when Mrs. Green was attacked around 5 o'clock. Road works on Miracum Street, huh? I'll talk to you after I'll talk to you after I pit this guy's statement. Here we go. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel. Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Oh, what? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? Well, what do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map in the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsumi visited the bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Miracum Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken along Miracum Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? You must have a good 2 yards or more of that pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose I must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice. Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think, in all good conscience, that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. There's one. What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If this is holding the prosecution argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say.
They should pay you for this, just so your family doesn't go hungry. Because you are doing significant work. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. That was wonderful. Or we managed to change a couple of lines at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider the stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only. If we could just identify one more clue to support a discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely.
It's exactly what we gotta do. Von Seeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent. But whatever means we have it at our disposal. Thank you, Counsel. On with the summonation examination, please. Yes, my lord. I say not go to the other party so I can see where this. Okay, cool. Alright, let's press you. Alright, full, you say? Full what? I fold. I do not like this hand. And I'm pretty sure my opponent has a royal flush. I'm just kidding. No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books. They have various. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of hot tea. That's my daily routine, you see. The same thing every day, including the day you're talking about. And what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon. It would have been just before 5 I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake in there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget the day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. Oh! It was always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. Really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? That's right. I live in Corporate, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back with your books. Juror number 6. I must insist. They add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry, what? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
Change to the jurors, Mr.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words would have to suffice for now. Okay, what do you actually change it to? I slipped over that evening myself on Calabash Road. I knocked myself clean out, you know. Hold on. Calabash Road. That's the angled road. So he went down Calabash Road. Seems like we need to pit his statement with someone. I can't connect it with anything right now. I'm gonna press it. And that was at around 5 o'clock, you say? The same time as the victim was attacked? I don't know anything but the girl who was stabbed. When my dinner's on the table, I'm at the same time every day. And for the record, could you please identify the precise location of your fall? Goodness, it was 8 months ago now. Unless you remember. It was 3 days ago. Try dredging your memory, please. Well, let me see. It was especially slippery around about. Oh yes, I remember now. It was just on the corner here. On the corner. Okay. What happened to you then? Were you alright?
Well, you don't get too many people down Calabash Road, you see.
Oh my goodness! He has a very similar complexion to that lady.
Oh, there was no one around when I fell, no one around when I knocked myself out, no one around when I came to again, and no one around when I sneezed.
Well, bless you. 3 days too late.
So I picked myself up and
I thought he was gonna say he picked his nose.
so I picked myself up and went back to my nice warm house where my grandchildren were waiting for me.
Sad and lonely picture you paint, sir. You're fortunate not to have frozen to death.
Yes, how lucky that he was more seriously injured.
True, it sounds like it was very nearly another hospital admission, or worse. Ah yes, one more thing. Were you wearing that same green overcoat on the day in question? Yes, yes, I want to know this.
Absolutely. It's the only color I have. It took until this morning to dry out properly. Good job, too. Oh, I have nothing to wear here. Recount your blessings, I say. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
I suppose we should. This gentleman certainly had a close shave there. Okay, I've already read all this. Blah 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 blah. I think I know what to do because I saw if he's wearing the same green coat, then I know how to change this. Yeah, do it like this. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever you mean, sir. I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to Euroburgs and purchased a number of second-hand titles, then he returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his own his return journey.
That's correct. But what he doesn't remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are aware of this. The poor young woman was stabbed out.
Objection.
Can we really be sure of that, ma'am?
My, whatever you mean.
I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else, apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets of the neighborhood.
Oh my!
My goodness, you mean... That's right, I'm referring to, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6.
What are you really suggesting? That the person in the green overcoat from whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes? Was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the woman.
What, look at that.
My goodness me!
Sorry, you need a peep?
I have to. I have to put my loony mode in. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. So me spam. Welcome back. I didn't even know you left. We're nearing the end of this summation examination. With breakfast dressed. Okay. Cool.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsumi saw collapsed in front of him was in fact juror number 6, my iPad with lectures in front of me. Lectures? Oh, from school or something? Means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my!
You idiot, old man.
If you had been so daft as to be roaming around there, we'd have boxed us off hours ago. Oh, really? What were you thinking? Wearing such a befuddling coat? What's wrong with wearing a green coat? What did you just say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk in the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it? Sonic, yeah? I'm an undergraduate now. Oh. Sorry. I'm sorry. My lord, I hope it doesn't cause any inconvenience, but... You'd like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I would. I would like to call a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well... They have good aim with that fire. Why, sorry. Uh, I don't know. I'm just probably talking out of my ass right now. Ignore me. I'm glad to have you back, watching me. It's nice to have some company during these streams because John's not here. John can't watch because he'll get spoiled. Although he did host me earlier and it blasted out my eardrums because my headphones were too loud. Anyways, well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift of opinion. The A's 2, the no's 4. So the no's of it. Not guilty, they say. I shall make funny jokes. Okay. Which means we no longer have any consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue. Sweet.
Objection.
What? Nice work. Thank you. Apparently Von Zeeks doesn't like it. He crushed another cup. Yeah, I should eat breakfast with you and watch. Listen to my lecture. Okay, cool. Could it be churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Von Zeeks? You seem to must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Whatever that mean?
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you have excavated, sir. That's right. Took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Japanese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, the distance rarely vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? What perchance did you erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of yours work? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No country would have had the hope of passing anyway. I would just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accuser's no gentleman as far as I can see. I have no doubt, however, they could spring over a 2-yard trench. His meanderings are untowed. Is it true? Is it? You can see her ring. The incontrovertible truth. That is the books we just put. The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused we found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Hudson may rock down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And old man. Cool, man. You can talk. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question. You slipped and fell in Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious looking enemies behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say that it was this old man that the accused saw? Well, we'd lay 1,000 to 1. Against you being able to prove it. Oh no, we gotta prove it. Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord. If you had such a... what the heck is that word? Trekant? Trekant? If you had such a trekant argument up your sleeve, why in the world would you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they've been reached, I feel. And there goes the cape. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. Well, what are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call his next witnesses to the stand. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. I think I bumped my mic. Sorry about that. It's next witnesses. Why are we questioning that? We know about this. Mr. Naruto, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid it's likely to be the prosecution's next witnesses. Alright, no matter who Von Seeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what to say, I believe in Susetsuki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end, till this battle's over. Oh, hey, it's Human Judy. Witnesses, please state your name and occupations for the court. What this guy is a Scotland Yard policeman? Oh gosh. Constable Royal B, sir! Nothing to report on the stream, sir! Rolly?
And I'm Mr. Pete. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero's wife.
Oh. So, husband and wife, somehow. Okay. And they look pretty poor. And sleepy. What's the story here?
Well, alright, Truth. We've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
Well, at least you've been married for a year. No. It was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I should have heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true, and they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights. They probably have the dishonor of picking up horse poop as well. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep at my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. I'd be dead. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. They witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is it not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it really?
Constable Royal Beach, sir. Nothing to repeat on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's gonna be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You'll tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she looks like, they look like they're in rags or something. They look very young, honestly.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Willie was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off.
Yeah, your eyes are literally just like Judy's. So glad I found her the other day.
We ran straight over, of course, and we went for help at a nearby police office. Or police box. It was definitely the Japanese man in the dark. Rolly and I both saw him clear as day.
I need to take a drink after that. Hold on. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming that to possibly identify Mr. Natsume at the scene. If the testimony is true, the alternative course of events they established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's death knell, in fact, because the alternative was never viable in the first place. Unfortunate, but chancy. And on your wedding anniversary, too.
Oh, I know. But still, I'm gonna go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to regret the rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My dear friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was, without doubt, the accused, Mr. Sasaki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is the policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
He didn't say a word. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright. Let's start the first statement. No time to change after work, you say. Are you also a member of the police, Miss Beat?
No, sadly not. I thought that for strapping young men only. Women and children and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you could probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks over to wearing some of the uniform. That's usually done to the ground, doesn't it, Rolly? More. I'll just finish my piece. But I will head back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Talking in his sleep. This is creepy.
Oh no, Riley. I much prefer you in your uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see the plain clothes.
Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir. Yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day in my seat. But please is my life, sir. As I am proud owner of this, I share my key and the Queen's Liend.
What's that now?
My warrior card, sir, proven I'm a learning copper. As a noble founding principles of the force written on it, as a matter of us policemen as road ready. To all the streets of London, to upload the peace into the common man. Sir, and for noble causes, I travel 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plotting reports is all Londoners need to hear and feel safe and secure.
So fighting crime doesn't appear to be coming into it then.
But sir, on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss B puts up with a line, without being married to a Bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, pet. Really?
Oh wait. Oh, I got them reversed.
Oh, pet. Oh, really?
Oh, what a charming couple. The young love is such a joy to behold. Even though they looked like kids. It's a little over the top, perhaps. And then, kindly describe what happened next. Jeez, I'm giving myself a lisp by rating him.
Hold it!
Two silhouettes.
That's right. They are coming toward us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction.
Oh, jeez.
There was a rather large, rather plump fellow, followed by a scrawny two-looking man.
That doesn't sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume. Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights at Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Right, I guess that's right. Of course, there was a little light frog. There's a light frog in the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight, and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And there's a street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrian.
Before sleep takes it from hold your answer, please. Mr. B, are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. As a copper, he spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets. I strayed right, sir. I'm a sure. If my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Wooly.
Oh, ugh. They're still maintaining that there's no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like I'm having a stroke. It's starting to seem like they must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't sound much to Natsumi, did it? You've heard the theme all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident. I need a drink of water badly. What happened in the crucial moments that followed? Alright, let's continue. Scattered something? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I can't make out what it was at the time. But then, when we got closer, we realized what it was. Did we, darling?
Alice, that's right. Here are some more books.
I see. Oh, books.
Let's the cover has a number of them. And we don't take them while lying on the pavement.
Indeed, it's clearly pictured in this photographic print.
The Russian Japanese man did that when he did the cheat.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
Please tell me it was the man the dog was out question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the Cadillac eyes, the tank man, the snub nose. Everything.
Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying intense eyes. And then he suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. It seems as though they're telling the truth here. May I write to the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from the policeman and his wife. Now please continue.
Yeah, sure.
Wait. Oh, okay, no, I can't. I thought I missed one. I thought that was the fourth one. Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? Oh, yes, that's right. I asked Miss Beagle. I was not doing my last week, but Bobby's living out truly after the occurrence. I felt the obligation to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I said precisely, see? I told her where to find the right police dogs.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Depending on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Well, when was stabbed wasn't exactly on my beat. So I don't petition the right to the police box to be for the beat the incident fell under so she can go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than our young crippled love working together, you know.
Thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Let's move on, shall we?
Hold it!
Yeah. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, wouldn't you?
We absolutely could. Us learners have exceptional eyesight. I have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. As my husband already told you that the frog was only light, didn't he?
Yes. And what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright, I'll take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? That's... Insert hokey pokey reference here.
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can't tell for sure. And certain that was the little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? It was. Yes, it was that too, and it won't stick. The mustache, the hunchback, the Cadillac eyes, the tongue like bar, the slab, sir.
As far as a couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. If it was Sasaki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing that testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. They saw. What they say they saw. Mr. Natsumi running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does that leave us?
The rest of the jury is sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no! Then what do we do?
If Kazuma-san were here,
What are you trying to say?
I think we're trying to find a contradiction somewhere else within the testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
The statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling down that question won't help. If you can identify some other part in their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh no, I don't want to do this. I do not like when you have to prove if a person's memory is flawed. That's what happened in case 3-3, the French restaurant case. That's what happened in that case. I don't like doing this type of stuff in these games. Alright.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in those statements somewhere. If we don't, we're afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it? Alright.
Miss Elias, sir, can I ask you something?
Okay. Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, sir. It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, how was it?
What? No, no, no. Oh, no, it's really not that at all. What is this music?
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. Remember every last detail, everything. Like. Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I can tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. And you dare not question or rely on my testimony, yes?
I will do, Miss Beat.
No, I won't do it at all. The Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. You don't decide to forgive him for insulting us. Do you think for a minute that real?
I didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beat? Mrs. Beat? Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That settles things nicely. Wait a minute, darling. I can hear you tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene of the crime.
4 books?
Hold it!
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
That's right, they've been to the police box to help, Well, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a bad police wife, after all. I did it for Raleigh.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was like face down in the snow. Getting some water over us. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of crime. Well, Mrs. Beat, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene?
I'd be happy to. Now, you all listening? Are you all listening? There was the pictures of Monsieur somebody or other, and what's it yearning? What's it yearnings? Then there was a meal for someone, and the last one was definitely the thing got me something.
So you don't remember the books at all, do you?
You see,
Yes, I see that there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
Oh, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure.
There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Oh, jeez, he's mad. Oh, he's got a gun!
Remember who is such my protector will have me to answer to.
Put that gun down. Terrifying. Yes, she really is. Blah, 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 blah. Zappa, 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 zappa. She's saying the exact same thing. Already heard. I think I know what to do here. Let's see here. Scene of the crime. 1, 2, 3 books.
Objection.
So, you're saying that there are 4 books?
That's right, I remember all of them. Picture a monster or somebody. What's her yardings? A mirror for somebody, and the thing gummy something.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what is it? What flaw?
Simply put, at the scene of the crime, there are only 3 books, not 4.
What?
Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books.
But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me.
Sorry?
It's that big old lump of a dead body. Laying so large, her corpse is plugged to view the 4th book, that's all.
At least try to remember that the poor woman isn't dead, even for insulting her size. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But Miss Natsume could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you described.
Why not?
Fascinating. Vermilius acetone. Something you can readily substitute with evidence, I presume. I think I actually have evidence. Ah, evidence. Counsel, will you present evidence to substituting your claim or withdraw it? What proof do you have that the accused did not drop 4 books? Let's look at this. Picture Monsieur Leclerc, a mirror for Gaboriel, Canterbury Yearnings. Oh yeah, they do match closely what she says, except we're missing 1.
Take that.
The evidence is right here, in the form of the bookshop receipt. From your books? Yes, this receipt details Mrs. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
No!
Therefore, Mrs. Natsume would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madam, cannot be relied upon.
Gah!
So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Objection.
Yeah, she's literally wearing rags. It is plainly evident. That is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Ebony's friend. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well, you have no hope of disproving. So you strive to avert the attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Wouldn't that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan is somewhat recorded against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife, an entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh!
You see, the matter is now over debate. At the scene of the Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection.
Oh, what? But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say there's another print? Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand. Oh, the lion's pride. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No, no! Order, order.
Here, you see, look at that, look.
Yes.
Isn't it my darling? Yes, sir, but doesn't always like, sir.
Let us study a receipt of the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture is of Monsieur Leclerc.
What's that, earrings?
Canterbury earrings.
I'm here for someone.
I mean for Gabrielle, in fact. And as the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book's titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. B's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Do you hear that, Riley? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir, flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless.
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Certainly, the 4th book is that which shown in the photographic print. It looks like it's burnt. I'm looking at this upside down. It looks like it's either burnt or been chomped, like by a lion or something. Clearly, the 4th book. I already read that. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd, my lord. As the photographic print clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder, what became of that 4th book?
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I'll have it here as evidence. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord. It's a crime scene print. That's the picture, that's the book. The pressure rests. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to stop summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness' powers of recollection and cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we said is true.
Isn't it right, my darling?
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. You're already married. So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have made all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruto, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now? Saving, 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 saving. I mean, might as well.
Protection.
I'm not done yet. No, my little friend. It's over. The last examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There's no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. We're gonna get penalized, aren't we?
If I may, Lord Fanzix, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruto,
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So, the court will heal you, madam. Go ahead, Mrs. Sato, please. Very well. Pray, what insight could you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see it fit to pursue further?
well, the court's been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. Oh yeah, that's right. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruto, what do you think?
My ear's itchy. I'll be. Hold on. I didn't want to bump the mic when I did that, so I muted myself real quick.
It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine this newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mr. Sato. I guess I'll do it now. What do we have here? Yeah, so it definitely looks as if the book is burnt. And can we actually, yeah, it sure is.
Oh, look at this! The book has been badly burnt!
You're right. Never been able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste! Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
Huh. Wait, the room was caught on fire. There was like an accident. Oh. I think I know where this book is from. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? There we go. Let's get that updated. Alright. Let's continue on. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from this newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We've already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Ah! Yes. I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afford you this opportunity... Oh no. You led the court to believe that new evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Naruto, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means we very well be on the right track.
yes. I think you might be right. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals? The burnt pages.
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What are you? Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp. Sorry to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what if it might have been his friend? Oh. Right, I can see the point. If it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, you should wish to assert that this fire damage is some fatal clue as to what happened that day. Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer than counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry tome has suffered? Shop that sold it, its owner, its content. I'm pretty sure the owner because of that fire incident. That seemingly unrelated fire incident that we discussed last time. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon.
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim is gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hurt.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has a very credible answers. Good gracious, how could you possibly? Very well. Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, members of the jury may very well burn you if your little camera goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this book?
It's clearly Iris Wilson. Just kidding.
Oh wow, they actually show him from the front. John and Joan. Literally just one letter apart. Okay. She's 38. Huh. Why is he facing the other way? That seems weird. Olive green. We don't know her age. Okay, they're in their 20s. They look like they're in their teens. I guess. Okay. I'll just say it's young love. Joan Garrett. The answer is that the book belongs to a couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garrett.
The landlords?
And whether this some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all people in London, one of the 6 chosen for the jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garrett herself. Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garrett's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrett's household? I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. The woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Yeah, we've already seen this, I'm not reading it. Wait, favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Oh my goodness. He even said it.
The Lion's Pride? By Jove, it's the very same title as
The subject of this debate.
Oh, dear me!
Objection!
This is risible. All I've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in the fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. Entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of crime to the scene of the crime.
Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Marital discord. I'm gonna say marital. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrett was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrett even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't believe how be so horrid to the one you love. Can you really?
Absolutely not, sir. My business will never raise a finger against me, sir.
Yeah, back to this again. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Oh! Good gracious, are you suggesting the book was thrown through a window and it landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
It probably landed in a pile of snow, which is why it wasn't on fire, it wasn't completely burnt down.
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there was no report of the Garrett's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw the broken glass when we visited the Garrett household. Was it not conceivable that the window was open at the time in?
Not even remotely. Let's not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave an window open in the middle of winter.
Ah. Hmm. The defense Postulate this scenario in all seriousness, Counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found the scene with a flaming projectile thrown at Mr. Garab's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
It's quite enough.
I knew it was you.
Well, I hope that everyone gets you for what you are, you little forsaken trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Claim it, little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, none of it. I have done is say your fellow's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Dragging upstanding citizen's name to the march simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I shall box your ears, that's what I shall do. That's utterly unforgivable.
Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is a little hunchback with a mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare that you're right.
It's true. Oh no.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Make sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What's your position, Lord Von Zeeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessary protracting proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... The foot! If books in your If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. What? No forget the discourtesy this time? In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you'll now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
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 Guilty. Guilty.
Boosh! Thank you for that unambiguous response. That's twice now, it's over.
Listen to her, don't give up.
Miss Susato,
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
you're not suggesting...
Of course, the defense has the right to another examination at this point. You can still convince the jurors to change their mind. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense asked to exercise its right to a summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve? I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to discover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. But, unfortunately, it is midnight. And this stream has gone on for 2 hours 40 minutes. So, with that, I just saved. What do you mean I haven't? I've just saved. Yeah, with that, I'm actually gonna end off here. Little awkward place to end. But I ended the last stream in an awkward place, and hopefully I could either finish the trial section next time or finish the case entirely, and that'll be the stream. Thanks for tuning in, Looney. Thanks for tuning in, any lurkers. I doubt there's any lurkers, but just in case. And yeah, yeah, that was good. That was a nice come back to this game. All right, yeah. With that, I will see you next week for more. I'll see you next week for more Ace Attorney. I'll be probably streaming. I think Animal Crossing tomorrow. Either Animal Crossing or Baba, and then on Thursday I'll play the other one. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye bye! If I